Hi folks, it's been raining overnight and it's still raining a wee bit now. The ground is going to be absolutely soaking, but I'm not going to let that deter me. I'm going to go ahead and make this video. I expect to get quite wet and a bit muddy, but that's Scotland for you. So, a wee bit of history about Dunnikier. Dunnikier House was built in the 1790s for the Oswald family, who were quite a successful family. Georgian Mansion, which is now Dunnikier House Hotel, was built for them. The original lands spread from what is now Victoria Hospital on the Hayfield Road up past the golf course, Dunnikier Golf Course, and included the lands that's Dunnikier Park and the Chalet Park. In the early 1900s or mid 1900s, the last member of the Oswald family left Kirkcaldy and the land was then sold. So Kirkcaldy then expanded, which was the whole reason why the Oswalds had built Dunnikier Estate where it is, was to prevent Kirkcaldy from expanding. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in Dunnikier Park and make our way down to Octavia Lodge, take a few photos and then take it from there. Dunnikier Park, the football ground for Kirkcaldy High School, which is across there. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a walk down this way, down towards the Den. So this is the top entrance to the Den. Like I say, the road leads all the way down there, goes to Octavia Lodge, and then obviously that road that leads up to Dunnikier House. So we'll quickly across the road and we'll go down the Den. So I'm going to watch no slip, because as you can see there's quite a lot of leaves and it's a bit wet, and like I say, I've only got the sandals on today. So what I think I'll do is we'll take a wee walk down, and then when I walk back up I'll maybe take some photos. The pathways that have been built in here, it wasn't relatively new. The deer track. Ah, it's for mountain biking. That's clever. Again. So beyond the trees there, there's a river, or a burn, which runs from kind of northern T Hall to Octavia Lodge. It's through all these trees, and it goes to Octavia Lodge and then disappears underneath the road. I'm not quite sure where that comes out, but maybe looking into that one. But beyond the trees there is the industrial estate, and it's a Hayfield industrial estate. So quite a steep slope there. I'm not going to try and go down that just now, because as you can see I'll end up on my backside sliding down the hill. Because I know there's a wee bridge down this way, which is obviously easier to get across into that bit via that bridge. In fact, that's what we'll do. We'll cross that bridge, we'll go up this way and then head back down the burn, find the old ruins, and then make our way back up the pathway to here. So we'll kind of do it in a wee loop. So here we come to this bridge, which is clearly it's not an original bridge, it's been built at a later date. And then, oh, it's stuck there. This careful there's no holding it. So you've got the stream there and the burn. So not the cleanest, it's still a lot of crap that's been dumped in it over the years. I remember when we were a kid seeing a payphone down there, so I'll make sure that I don't drop my mobile phone in there. In here, it's a wee pathway. So what we'll do is we'll turn this way. Some old bricks here. And follow this wee path up this way. Yep. Just coming up there, creating a wee stream there. And then obviously that joins the main water. Just been an afterthought obviously because of the industrial estate. We beat this bit before, obviously during the summer. I took some photos of it before, so I'll maybe show you them as well. And this bit here, the stream comes down, the burn comes down there, and then goes round. And then you see here some old steps. And there's a lot of water there coming through that. Going for that wee waterfall that they've created, which is obviously left that. It's really, really muddy. So, like I said in the introduction, my feet are going to get wet. But that is the reason I put these on. So, what we'll do is we'll go up this way first, and we'll come back down. That's the pipe. One of the pipes. And when we were at high school, we used to come down the field at the front of the high school, down to the run, walk along. Did we walk? Oh, we must have. How did we do it? I think we crossed it. There were some rocks that were up that way. We crossed the burn at the rocks. Walked along here till we come to here. Crossed over that pipe. I wouldn't try it now. But we used to cross over that pipe and then walk round back over that bridge that I showed you. And followed the pathway up, and then there's a bigger pipe that we used to cross back across that side. And then we'd walk back up to the high school. Pretty adventurous. And I remember there was one time we were jumping on the rocks, and I slipped and went knee high into the water. Went to science class after lunch, soaked. So what we used to do at lunchtime was we'd throw an empty juice bottle into there, put the lid on it and chuck it in, and then we'd walk along here picking up stones and chucking rocks at this bottle, trying to sink it. As you say, we were trying to sink the Titanic. You can easily see me going in here. These bricks here. I mean, when you're down here, and you're hearing the river running, you kind of forget that, you know, there's a main road just up there, and there's an industrial estate there. You kind of forget about that, especially in the summer when you hear all the birds. It's really nice. And I don't mean the birds for smeating. I mean the proper birds. I'm not saying there's not any proper birds in Smeaton, but boom boom. It's not the cleanest of water, but never mind. Still got a man-made dam there. Probably an Asda's trolley. So I mean, there is an advantage of doing it in the autumn, but there's also the disadvantage as well. I mean, the advantage is that because the leaves aren't on the trees, you're able to see further. The downside to it is all the leaves are on the ground, so you can't see anything that's on the ground. So that's why I think I'll do it again in the summer, and that way we maybe get to see what's on the ground a bit. Oh, the erosion that's happened over time. Obviously this just started off as like a wee burn, and then over time it's just eroded all the way down. There's another casualty. This time the Sainsbury's one. So I know so far it's all just been looking at the river and I promised you ruins. But we're going to get to that in a second. The trees are there. Maybe it's some time to invest in a proper camera, because obviously I make these videos with my camera phone, and sometimes the camera kind of struggles to keep up with the movement, so I try and keep the videos as slow as possible. But when you're when you're walking on ground like this, It can be a bit unpredictable, as we've just proven. Yeah. So here we go, we're back to this bit. And I'd rather fall that way than that way. And here we have some old steps. Obviously been replaced over years because there's some kind of new bricks that we put in there. And so half the wall falling off there. Right. Let's see. As we stepped in as well. Moss growing on the top of it. It's obviously not part of the original structure. It takes us back onto this path that we were on earlier. Right, so instead of crossing the bridge, what we're going to do is we're going to keep following up this way. Because if memory serves me right, I'm sure there's other bricks in that up there. They've not been on this side of the river for 15-20 years. There remains a path that went there. I mean, how old that is, I don't know. It's maybe been like 50s or something like that when the council bought the land. So there's a wall. I'm sure that goes to the cemetery, the Hayfield Cemetery. Take a wee walk up this way. What's that? I've never seen that before. Actually, I've never been up here before. When we used to come down here in high school, we used to just kind of stick to the river, follow the river down. So this here's new to me. certainly old. Get some photos of that. This here. So the gates that led into the cemetery. You know, so something's made away over the wall. I would pay the respects. So there's the cemetery there. There's leaking alcove. I don't want to climb up too much because I'll end up slipping on this log. That's just like a bunker of some sort. The wall looks like it could have been part of the original estate. A lot of ivy sticking to the trees in here. See it all. School kids there. Somebody's made a wee gun hut. So now we're coming down to called Octavia Lodge. Don't know if that was the original name for it. Maybe we'll look that up. So this is the lodge. That's what they call it now. I mean, it's people that live in there now. But I remember when we used to come down here, there was never anything there. It was just a run-down old building back then. Obviously somebody's bought it and turned it into their house. And then here we have what we used to call the Golden Gates. Don't know why we called them the Golden Gates, because they're not golden. You know, the river runs under there and then disappears away under the hospital and down the road. So I'll take a wee trip down here. I remember I got shouted at by somebody because quite clearly I'm not supposed to go down here. So, but there's a kind of flood bit comes up there, and as you can see, the river disappears under there. And then we're coming out to the main road. This is Hayfield Road, into the hospital. That's Dunnikier Road. There we go. Here's the river, it comes down. So the river goes under there and then it disappears away down that way. So I managed to take a few photos without getting soaked. If any of the drivers that were passing by are watching this, thanks for not being a dick. It's much appreciated. What we're going to do is we'll take a wee walk up the pathway. Now, like I say, I only kind of assume at the moment, until I do some further digging, that this was part of the original track that led up to Dunnikier House. And like I say, it was well before my lifetime, and before my parents' lifetime as well, actually. So let's say so it just kind of runs under there and goes round there and disappears under the road. Yes. Another pipe. That's the second one that we used to cross when we used to come down here at lunchtime. Used to walk across there and chuck stones up my way, try and get them to fall in. They never did, because they had bloody good balance. It just shows you what cruel bastards we were that we were trying to make them fall in. There's the bridge, obviously, that we crossed earlier on. This is the park. Obviously all this land here belonged to the Oswald, so from the hospital up through the den, up to the school, all this field along here, along to the chalet park, the woods up there, and then continuing on up through the golf course, up to where the A92 dual carriageway is. All of this land belonged to the Oswalds. So there's still some stuff up here in the park itself, but it's not really what this video was originally started for. But because we were slim pickings down the den, I suppose we can have a look at the what we used to call the maze, which is along that way. This is the hotel itself. Obviously a new part's been built onto it as it gained popularity as a hotel and venue for events. There it is. There's the Dunnikier House. So, like, joined on at the back of the hotel, there used to be like this rundown old barn. It was all sealed off at the bottom. You were never able to get into it, but you used to be able to kind of peer through. It was always dark and there was rotten wood in it, just general rubbish that people had chucked down. But now it's just a like a storage area. You can peek through this wee wall. So it's just like a car park, and There's just a waste ground back there now. You can see the outline of where there used to be windows. But it's obviously now just a wall that joins onto the hotel itself. Obviously there used to be a gate on there at one time. You can see the wall continues on down here. So I don't know how recent this is. I mean, it looks fairly recent in comparison, obviously, to the main hotel. So I don't know if this was actually, you know, constructed as part of the park, or if this was part of the mansion. See the change in the wall there. So here it used to be like a hedge maze, which was destroyed over time by you know, youths. I mean, we never used to do. We used to jump over it, but we never jumped through it. But these things happen, and then obviously because it became too much for them to constantly repair, they just ended up taking it out, putting grass in instead. So we used to hang around here, and we never knocked the wall down. We used to sit on this bit of wall and eat our lunch, and then we used to try and walk along the wall that was here, because this was like a proper dry stone dike type wall, to try and walk across without falling, try and get across to the other end and see who would get the furthest. And I can tell you now, it was never me, because my balance was terrible. Story when we used to stand here having our lunch. My friend Scott had just about finished his bottle of iron brew, and a wee bit left in the bottom of the bottle, and decides to put the lid on it, and he's just in the middle of talking to me, and turns and goes like that, and chucks the bottle and knocks this little bird off the wall. And he wasn't even aiming for it, didn't know it was there. Knocks this wee bird off the wall, and the thing fell to the ground, stunned. So my other friend Neil goes running across. Oh my god, I've killed it. He picks up this wee bird, and the thing was still alive, but it was dazed. So Neil sat with it for a while, and eventually the thing kind of regained its consciousness, and it's standing in his hand and looked ready to fly. So Neil, go fly, and the thing flew up into the air and then plummeted like a rock into the bushes behind me. So he went running in to try and find the bird, but couldn't find it again, so obviously the wee thing ran off. It was quite funny. I was just standing saying to Scott, you killed it, and I didn't even see it. Yeah, memories. This is around the back of the golf club. So we have the back of Dunnikier house where the main entrance is. There's even a plaque on it which tells you a wee bit about the history. So, really is a nice building. Really fantastic to have lived in there. Well, there we go, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Didn't see as much down the den as maybe I'd hoped to have discovered, but certainly seen everything I knew was there, although the blocks were a new surprise to me. Tomorrow I'm hoping to do a video where I'm going to explore an old railway branch in Carden, so please stay tuned, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.